can we turn that bye into hello? I know how to love you now. No matter what I do, I can't let go. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always.
Hello and welcome. I'm Amelia Durbin, joined by Steph Rapazzo, and we're here at the crossover game between Sweden and Austria at the European Youth Ultimate Championships in the Euro Disc Arena. We were a bit late to start this game, just a little Wi-Fi issue, but we're joining it now, and this is the first point, with Austria coming out on offense. Steph, you've just ran back from a game. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, Leave Molly is a big run. Every run's a big one for me nowadays, but yet the Belgians in the open division have stormed back. It's Universe Point over there, so we will hear if they pull that one off as this game gets going.
And there's the first D of the game, 71. That's Frida Salen. So sorry, just reading the pronunciation there. So Sweden, first chance to get a break. Team that wins this will advance into the semi-finals, so coming into that top four, and the team that unfortunately doesn't win will be going into that 5-8 bracket. Sweden moving it up the sideline, flick to the open side, and just too far out the hands of the receiver there. Austria back on offense. That was Lily Adolfsson there, just a little bit too much beans on the throw.
Too much beans.
Too many beans. My grammar is awful. Need some chocolate.
Yeah, me too.
Slow to walk the pull in, Austria, just taking their time. And another zone look. We just saw a Swiss zone, but now we're looking at the Austrian zone. Sweden zone even. Over the top. Moving it laterally. Austria looking comfortable, but Sweden working hard. Beautiful shot there. Scherger puts one through the middle, and a beautiful layout D there. 24, Lisa God, my pronunciation is terrible today. Arsenmacher. I do apologise. Up the line to Bowden. Beautifully collected. A free player there. Into the hands of Stella Lundgren. And a goal for Sweden.
Sweden hit the board first there. A beautiful layout D there by Hannah Adensmaya to get the disc back for the Swedes before they set up this play to put themselves on the board first. Here it is again.
Beautiful.
Really in the nick of time. That seemed like it was almost in the hands of the intended Austrian receiver. There's the finish.
Yeah, beautiful first point. Austria just maybe looking a little bit passive against that Sweden zone, but Sweden able to capitalise on the Austrians' mistake. So Austria will be coming out on offence again. Worth looking at the rosters here. Austria carrying quite a lot. Austria have more players significantly than the Swedish team. So whether Sweden have been able to build up better connections and the Austrian team are kind of working through a larger roster, we'll see how that plays out, especially near the end of the tournament when the legs start getting tired. But Sweden kind of working through maybe, I'm not going to count it, probably 18 players, whereas Austria looking more similar to having around 24.
It is accurately assessed there, I'd say, those numbers. The path to get here, I'm just going to get myself back into that as we get our internet resorted.
Yeah, whilst you do that, I'll take a look at what's happening on the pitch. Pool's going up there. Number 12, Eckenhagen with the pull. Austria in offense now. Maurer with the disc. Grossengäger. Back to Maurer. Just a drop there, unfortunately, by Moibus. Trappendal on the disc. Io across. Looking a bit stuck, trying to hit the break side, but not getting it. Down to Algren. Io, ooh, inside out and beautifully connected. Westman with the goal.
Westman getting big, taking it high there. Sweden did really good to recollect after the, I don't want to say careless turnover, but the turnover that was a concentration lapse.
Yeah.
For Austria. They were only slowly moving the disc back and forth in their own end, and gave Sweden a nice gift of a short field, and really only had to set up their offense already in an end zone set.
Yep, so that's 2 breaks for the Swedes straight away, with Wilmer Westman getting the goal there. Austria just looking a little bit nervous, perhaps. It's a big game. Like I said at the beginning, team that wins this goes into the semis and guaranteed top 4, and the team that unfortunately comes out as the loser goes down into that bottom bracket. So a lot to play for. Sun's come out. We've had some interesting weather where it's been rainy and windy, but looking quite nice now. But impressed with the Swedish team so far, and a great pull there by Arensmeyer. Disc in the hands of the Austrians now. Another look at this Swedish zone, which has played dividends so far. Swinging to that far side, and just another, as you said a minute ago, careless drop, and Sweden have an opportunity to capitalise. Lily Adolfsson with the pink sunglasses there, adding a bit of flair. And just an open side goal.
And the Swedish offense has been made to look easy because their zone has been generating turns in Austria's opening quarter of the pitch. The last 2 points, the zone has made it very difficult. But there's the turnovers that they felt the pressure of the tight up front Swedish zone, but I think the pressure's more in their head because the turnovers are coming way too quick in the sequence. It's not because of fatigue. Their heads are just a little bit out of it, and both of those last 2 turns touched both hands, put to ground, and Sweden's picked up and scored. Nice.
Yeah, I agree. And we've just taken a timeout here, so we'll take a quick break and join you back shortly. It's 3-0 Sweden over Austria. at the women's division at EYUC in Ghent. We're in the Eurodisc arena. So a slow start from this Austrian women's side, hoping to see a little bit more fire from them. Sweden looking really confident so far. Yet to be super pressured, so not sure if Sweden are playing out of their minds or if Austria are just having a slow start. We see the Austrian team coming out on offense, trying to get that all-important first point on the board, and Sweden lining up to get potentially another break, which would take us up to 4-0. Have we got an update on the Universe Point game over in the far corner in the Open Division?
We do. All that pressure mounted. The Belgians came down from 4-0, 10-7, 12-10, 12-12, and then France scored a goal. There was a lot of excitement over there. That was the fullest field we've seen here. No surprise.
Yeah.
Home country, home nation had a lot of friends and family and fans on the sideline supporting. And they fell just a bit short. A clean hold is what I think I heard how France finally did it.
The most punishing way to lose a game is a clean hold.
Yeah, on Universe Point, like you at least want to see both teams get a chance. As a spectator, certainly as the team receiving, you want to clean hold.
Pull going up now. Great pull. Into the wind, sitting nicely. Maya Grossengegger on the disc. Huck goes up from Hannah Malik, but taken down convincingly by Sweden, who've got another shot at taking it to 4-0.
Yeah, the one thing that is different here now, there's a poached player already, and there remains a poached player. And only now, I was going to say, well, the one thing that is different is that at least Sweden has to play from their own half.
Yeah, they're just moving the disc pretty confidently. Trappendal on the disc, moving down now to Arsmeier, and a simple goal for Sweden. Austria looking at 40% at best at this moment.
Yeah, they are having major troubles there. Sweden can't put a foot wrong. Even that laser into the end zone was reasonably well defended. Maybe the only one of the few throws of the sequence that was quite tightly defended, and they still get away with that one. Here it is, with a very strong catch. But so the Austrian coaching would have been trying to negate the short field position that they'd given up at least 2 in a row, but 3 of the first 4 points. And so they try and huck past it. The huck works, but then a defensive lapse. They had one player open all the way. They moved it into a short field position. And if you play the huck and pin kind of game, the punt and pin, or the huck and D, as you would say, it's fine, but the defense has got to be switched on. You got to be ready to chase up, get your assignments, and so they got the huck part right, but the D was just not tight enough from the word go, and Sweden continued to pile it on as such.
Yeah, a real shame that this Austrian side looking a little bit defeated before they've even started, but hopefully they're able to switch on now and push it to a closer game. We've got Sweden coming out on defense again with the pull. Pull going up, centre field, but again just a miscommunication on who was collecting that pull, which pushes Austria even back, but a confident centering pass and we're now in. Flick onto this sideline, playing into where the zone wants them to go, but swinging around the outside. Out to that far side now, backhand into the middle and a snaffle D there. That's Wilma Westman coming through and taking that D away. Looking backfield now is Westman, hoping for an option. Able to push it back. And a layout D attempt by the pink sunglasses there of, I've missed the name.
Trappendal? No, it's not. That is Adolfsson.
Adolfsson. Great attempt. But not today, so Austria got another opportunity now. Sweden's zone being quite aggressive, like shutting down the swings and both the centering passes, and I think at the current tempo that Austria are playing at, that's the right thing to do. They're letting them have nothing really. Player downfield, tightly matched marks in front of us, but you can't see that on your screen. And another turnover. Sweden with the disc now. Peterson moving the disc backwards to where it is now, and a a timeout being called. It's another timeout being called by Sweden there. So we can take another quick break and we'll be back to join you shortly. Sweden are up 4-0 over Austria at the European Youth Ultimate Championships in the pre-semi. Team that wins this goes ahead into that top 4 bracket, and the team that loses is out of the medal contention. Austria having a little bit of a sleepy start, potentially, with Sweden currently on offense to take it to 5-0 if they concede this break.
Yeah, Daria Sheruga is the leading scorer in the whole competition right now, 23 assists. She's going to have to be one of the players who steps up at a point in time like right now. She's obviously got enough throwing prowess and finesse. I mean, not right now, because somebody's going to step up and play defense first. And Bobinets is the other one, Philippa Bobinets. She's on that list of top scorers, and we're back in play.
Sweden open side. Austria have put someone in that space to stop the open side passes, as you can see, like sagging off. Sweden swing round, open side throw, and a great layout D attempt, but Sweden secure the goal, and that takes us to 5-0.
Love the layout D attempt there. That was by, I thought the number 19 shirt is what I saw. May well
Let's watch it back. So I think it's 20. It's got a 0.
Does it?
I think it's 20. Anna Maurer.
A beautiful bid, but still nothing available to stop the Swedes from pouring it on. 5-0 now. There's a look at Maurer. The Austrians are just seeking answers right now. As I said, the leading scorer, also Philippa Bobinets, has had an impressive campaign. The 63 shirt, she's clocked in with 4 goals and 9 goals and 4 assists. So she's been the target that has been most reliable. But Austria just cannot get anything going against this Swedish zone right now.
Yeah, I think the Swedish zone is quite punishing. It's not particularly windy either, so it must be quite scary when you're in that cup. But disc is up from Sweden, sitting and hanging in the air. Austria not confident to catch it. Mia Grossenger with the disc, open to that far side, and just a turnover there. Another opportunity for Sweden to take it to the 6-0. Austria cheering their teammates on to bring in defensive intensity. Sweden looking down the sideline now, going backfield. Treppendal with the disc. Beautiful flat throw and a layout. Lisa Arnsminer there.
Fantastic.
Perfect form, poetic. With the disc, looking downfield, but finds a release valve there. Nova Eriksson with the disc. Round to Emma Hagby. Shading that IO, but not successful. Back to Treppendal. Sweden on the open side. Great intensity from the Austrian there. Back to Hagby. IO. Lisa Armeinster opens. What a goal. Freya McLean there with the goal.
Just making it look so easy, Sweden, once they've got the disc back. In a similar sense, Austria letting it be too easy for them to get the disc, but then once they've got it, they have got some swagger about them. That lean back, outside in forehand there just felt effortless for the assist. And Sweden, I mean, pouring it on. Is this where you just let them play? Does another timeout really give you an advantage as Austria right now? And I think so. I think it's worth taking. You have those timeouts. Half is going to expire. One more point like this. But it is just a slippery slope right now for Austria as Sweden have turned into a downhill steamroller.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but you see the Austrian sideline looking a little bit defeatist. They're kind of stirred, slouched shoulders, looking a bit solemn, and it's easy to switch off during a game when you're having a tough start, but we've seen massive comebacks from teams before. But even if it's not going to be a big comeback and you take the win, a little bit of energy sometimes is really needed.
Yeah.
Mainly because we play the sport as much to be competitive, but also to have a good time.
And also because you're on stream.
And you're on stream.
And you want to put your best foot forward. And even when you start with, a little bit of catastrophic play, you can still remedy.
Yeah.
You've got to have the heads up.
Disc is up into the hands of those white sleeves. Again into the middle. Confident shot through there, but just the wind tips that. Unsure if there'll be a foul call there, but unsure.
I don't think it's the call to make. Sharuga put the deep.
I think they just got tangled as the disc went over. So seemingly not a foul. As Lily strides towards the disc, but then walks back. Looking for some hand signals here as to if there is a call. It is a turnover. Turnover's been signaled, so the disc is now in. Sweden with the disc. Bodin with the disc, putting it centre. Great layout D attempt. Wilma Vesman with the disc, putting it up there to Stella Lugden. She's shouting, cuts, cuts. Looking for opportunities, what a find, but just taking it in the wind, showing the belly of the disc to the wind and pushing it down towards the receiver. Seeing a little bit of spark, seeing a little bit of life from Austria now. Two close defensive looks there.
Sweden not shy to show zone on a transition.
Austria starting to bring a little bit of volume now. They might have heard us in the booth.
That great part of having a multi-team delegation.
Disc is up and a turnover. I rate the shot there from the 30 shirt of Daria Shuga. Sometimes you've got to shoot, and again that was an option that could have been a catch. Wasn't a chuck it and see, but we see disc moving and a turnover. This could be it.
Sharuga wants it.
Moving it round to the 9 step. Pia. Backfield to Schruger. A 3-person zone from the Swedes.
The Austrian zone are a little slow to get into shape.
The turnover.
Attack another one. They were two of them running together wide open, and unforced error.
Swinging the disc to Astrid Bordin. Wow!
A foul, but holy, that was something. Fruchtstock got unstuck from the ground there. Came
Beautiful
late.
D. That's beautiful.
Gosh.
It was a bit spicy. Violation called. Got Frida Salen on the disc now. Disc is in, little fake, looking backfield. Emma Hargby with the disc. And a miscommunication, disc thrown a little bit too far. Frida Salan doing the chasing in this zone, or at least pushing the disc this way. Massive wingspan. Disc up to number 18 shirt, Sophie Hachel. Static, but through the middle. Thread the needle over the top. Backfield now. Austria definitely have woken up a little bit. And just a little bit too high. I think the defender was a little bit greedy for going up, then could have kind of walked backwards and got that disc, but potentially trailing out as well.
Yeah, but you're right. The longest point of the game, the most possessions they've given themselves in the game. We've had 7 turnovers at this point. And the fact that they're able to get it back from Sweden this many times is a show that they have woken up to some end. They haven't woken up completely. They haven't waltzed their way into the end zone, but you're right. They're feeling the effects of the smelling salts.
Yeah, and we've seen 2 great layout D attempts from 2 individuals on Austria, so they're getting there, they're ramping it up. And instead of taking a short break, I thought maybe we could look during this timeout at what Austria have done in previous games. I don't have any internet right now, so I'm going to hand you over to Steph to walk you through Austria's journey through this tournament so far.
I would love to tell you about their journey. They have had their shares of ups and downs, of course. Opened things up with a Universe Point loss to GB, and then responded to that with a pounding at the hands of Italy. They lost 13-1. They finally got up in a game that we are having a rematch of right now. They beat Sweden 11-10 earlier in this tournament.
Now I am surprised.
So they are, I mean, has Sweden got that much better, or is Austria just totally off right now? I have a feeling Austria is totally off.
I think they're off.
They've got to get, again, those smelling salts we talk about. Not literally, I don't think those are condoned.
We don't condone smelling salts.
But the wake-up call, the philosophic slap in the face, if you would. Austria beat Switzerland 13-10. Then they had the crossover against Germany, one of the top teams, and they went down. And that finds them here in the crossover to get back up, to go into the semi. So they were in the upper pool, that would mean. No, that's not true. They were in the lower pool and played their way back up.
Okay, so they've had a bit of a fight to get here, so maybe it's a little bit of fatigue showing. Had to push early on.
Second in their pool, in the lower power pool. So Germany won the lower power pool.
Looks like a 3-way tie. Austria, Switzerland, Great Britain all 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's the point differential that got it, and they were 0. 32-4, 32 against. And so now in this crossover, France and Italy await the winners of these 2 matches. And the other one is Belgium-Germany, and that is 4-2 for Belgium right now. But Sweden have all the power in this one so far. Can Austria wake up and make this happen, extend the half right now? Now we talked about in the Italy-France game, like no point in leaving it all out there. This is an elimination game now. Now, like, this is throw the kitchen sink at this game.
Yeah.
Even down 6-0, play every point to win. It's desperation ultimately.
Absolutely. Yeah, after this, as much as we like to play for positions, realistically, most people come to the tournament to try and get a medal. So, you know, fight for that opportunity to get silver, gold, or bronze. Sweden are in now on this closest sideline to us. Just a match look from Austria, which seems to be working quite well. Austrian defense is definitely switched on. Sweden around the back. Looking a bit stuck. But a IO huck through the middle. Picked up nicely by Lisa Arsenmeyer there. Line slash by Astrid Bodin. Big shot up. Oh, and bounced out the hands of Wilma Westman there, trailing out. Yeah, maybe a little bit of line confusion as to where their feet were.
A little bit of that. I feel like the arm was extended. Maybe just the foot off the gas. Thought she was there before it trailed away. So potentially a bit of a misread, but in any sense, bounces off the hand. And Austria get a chance. 8 turnovers in the point thus far.
Just hunting to find that disc amongst the lots of people there. Slow walk back. A dangerous position for Austria here, right on the sideline, and Sweden have opted for that zone. We've got the white sleeves of Dara Schruger picking up, and she goes over the top, and a hand block immediately over her throw. And a simple goal, which has been called. So another goal for Sweden, taking us to 7-0. That's Wilma, oh no, that's Emma Hagby getting the goal. And we're now sitting at half time.
That is a half that Austria would like to forget as soon as possible. As said, it's a half that, you know, they've got to forget. It's a tough speech for the coaches right now to try and find the right words to give any sort of a spark. I mean, you talk about flat, the whole team is standing on the sideline very flat-footed right now, slow to even respond to the coaches. They are gobsmacked by what's happened here to a team that they have defeated in this tournament.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's just the way Frisbee is. Sometimes you just underperform and you have an off game, and it sometimes only takes 1 or 2 people to be quiet that brings everyone else down. And yeah, like you said, as a leader, it's really difficult to know the right things to say. But Austria looking a little bit upset right now. A couple of tears coming out, and it's hard to see. But it shows how much it means to them.
Which is everything. We know the people who play this game are passionate athletes and sports persons. They are definitely more than happy and proud to be representing their country with their flags on their sleeves and their nation's name across their chests. And we know that with all that, they will find ways to fight the best they can to finish off this game.
Yep, so as half continues here, we're going to go to another quick break so we can grab some water, and we'll be right back with you. We're here at the Eurodisc Arena at the European Youth Ultimate Championships. Just come out of a half-time against Sweden and Austria. Sweden 7 points up on this Austrian women's side. It's been a slow start with Austria looking a little bit defeated. We're trying to talk in the half potentially about them being a bit upset after their loss over Germany. Do you think that's impacted their mood?
I mean, it could be anything. It could be the way this game started. It could be the way the last game ended. But whatever it is, it has taken a hold. These are young ladies. Their emotional state not yet refined. Their coping mechanisms not yet worked out. And it seems to have taken a hold. I would love to see some sort of energetic spark bring them back, but right now they remain flat on the sideline, and that might do it.
Whatever they said in halftime seemingly worked. That's Pia Frostuk with the block. Daya Schruger with the disc. To the IO space, bit of discussion about whether it's in, but called out. Austria, another chance at the goal here. Over the top, and there it is, that's the goal. That takes us to 7-1. Austria coming out in half and getting a convincing break.
Austria on the board, and they do it on the only point of the game that they have pulled. Incredible stuff. They've received 7 pulls and have yet to score. Imagine this was a game of patterns like that, where the next 7 now go the other way.
We've seen it before.
I've seen crazier things. I have seen crazier things. I wouldn't start gambling and betting upon that being the most likely outcome at this stage, but I certainly would never count it entirely out either.
Austria taking a little bit of a long time on the line here. 7 players nearly ready to go, and Austria still got half the players on the pitch, but jogging off now. The first look of this Austrian D line, I think, with Sweden starting on D initially. This is Austria's first look. Number 30 with the pull, Daya Schruger. Big IO backhand sitting lovely in the wind. That's a gorgeous pull. Sweden collects confidently and centres. Trappendal with the disc.
Defense is missing an assignment. And there it is. Bids are coming.
They're coming, yeah. Got Vestman. Oh no, yeah, Wilma Vestman with the disc. Moving to Lisa Ahrensmeiner. Astrid Bolden now. Back to Lisa Ahrensmeiner, and the hut goes up. Oh, great pickup from the start of Lily Liljeqvist, but a throwaway just in the red zone.
Austria will get themselves another chance. I thought the Austrian defense, they were pretty good throughout, except on the huck. I think they got turned around, but all the unders were well covered up. They do, despite our estimation of their halftime energy, seem to have come out the 7 on the pitch with a small spark here.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a glimmer of something that we hadn't seen before, but a pick being called by Sweden.
Yeah, and that's it. It's a glimmer right now, and that's the importance of the conversion. To turn that glimmer into a legitimate shine is the difference to really convert that energy into momentum.
It also takes a lot of energy to bring energy. It converts itself into something. So you're trying really hard to run with your legs, keep up, but also having to mentally get yourself in it. It's quite knackering. Disc being tapped back in, and we're in flow now with Austria. Looking for that IO, and immediately deep shot goes up, but ruler of the sky is Isabel there. Open side back to that 14 shirt, into the middle. Lisa Ahrensmeiner, and a hut goes up immediately. That's a gorgeous throw, but blocked.
Yeah, the block there by Sharuga. She takes it upon herself. It's her with the only assist. It was her who we said had to be able to, be making some of the moves to get this team back going, and she gets another block there to add to her hopeful team-saving stats.
Convincing swap D there. Foul on the throw. Waving the arms to encourage people to stop and see the replay there if it's a foul on the throw.
I mean, the break tried to go right under the arm. I think it's fair to say that that arm moved just a little bit. It didn't look like major impact under the arm or a major movement. But it's one of those things when a thrower tries to really throw under the arm and like really throw the break from a static, because she wasn't pivoting and moving while she threw. You can almost throw into the mark every time and call a foul to sub end. I don't think that is the most genuine way to be out there and do it. And I'm certainly not saying that's what she was after.
No, but it's a good way to train it, to think that popping it over the arm is often a turnover. It's my worst habit of a backhand. I will go over the arm and it picks up in the wind and goes high. I turned over in the super team game at Windmill doing that exact thing. So as you see there, she has now gone over and it is completed, but fortunate that it didn't pick up in the wind. Back into the middle and just a turnover. Wilma Westman nearly knocking down the 30 shirt, but Sweden short field into the red zone. Isolation there. And a goal.
This is where they've capitalized all game long and where they've capitalized once again.
The Sweden men's team getting involved now, celebrating.
Trying to out-duel the Austrian sideline, who did show up and brought a whole bunch of energy with them as well. They're being coached, but influenced and motivated by Audi, the president of the EUF. He's trying to keep the Austrian boys in check with their energy and how they give it out to the girls on the field.
That does take us to 8-1 in this crossover game between Sweden and Austria. Again, Sweden currently looking like the ones more likely to go up into that semi-final bracket. Steph, again, do we know who they'll be playing yet? It could still be Austria, but if it is the Swedes, who will their game be against, or is that not decided?
This is... I can't tell if this is crossover 3.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah, we will.
I'll let the technical expert over here do some research, and I'll feed us back. Austria coming out on offense. We've seen a lot of this Austrian O-line having been broken quite a few times now. However,
I think this is crossover 1, would make sense because it's a slight guess, but it makes the most sense. So I think the winner of this has France.
Okay. Big game.
Yes.
Pull goes up. Confidently collected and centered. A little bit of a spin there, but Austria continue on. It's really unfortunate. A clap of frustration there from Hélène Mara. Nova Eriksson with the disc and the sunglasses on, looking downfield, throwing into space, abusing the face mark of the 61 shirt. Leva Addison now throwing it downfield to Leeson Acklin. Ooh, bit of friendly fire, but a turnover stands. Emma Harbury just getting bumped on the mark. Austria now looking for another offensive potential. Slow walk to the disc is Hélène Maurer. Disc is in. Up the line strike. And a turnover. I think the Austrian player just a bit scared there.
Yeah, running into a bit of traffic and ended up grasping at air, not committing fully.
Nova Eriksson committing to a lovely down the line strike, going out, but just too far. Maybe this Swedish team showing a little bit of overconfidence, or maybe, you know, they are not as clinical as we thought now that the defense from Austria has stepped up. But I like the option, just misexecuted. A lot of action happening in this far corner. Hopefully we can move it up and progress it to the pitch, but Austria in, and just a miscommunication. I think that's a Callahan, and I don't think the 37 shirt of Emma Harkby knew that, but Callahan's a Callahan, and well done.
Yeah, some of the Austrian players having a tough time with these results. It is, of course, Callahan's always tough ones to swallow, but they got to keep their heads up. They got to keep playing. They got to fight for everything, whether it's a win or a little bit of pride. They got to keep going. Swedes got away with them one there, but a lot of what they're getting away with is because the Austrians are lacking bits of confidence because of the way the start of this game has gone. And as you said, it's one of the toughest things. I mean, to swing momentum is what it would take to really boost the confidence. And
yeah.
Once Sweden gets going and once Austria kind of gets stuck in the mud, those are some of the toughest forces to reverse.
Yeah, completely agree. Sweden with the pull. Disc is going up. That's a beautiful pull, but potentially might be trailing out onto that far sideline, which would see us having a brick. But no, disc remains in bounds, immediately swinging to Dana Schruger. Low pivot. Anna Maura now, just a turnover. Unfortunately, miscommunication in the drop. Astrid Bodin with the disc. Up the line. And another goal. That takes Sweden to being 10-1 up over Austria. 30 minutes left on the clock, so still plenty of time for a comeback, but I think Sweden are just asserting a level of dominance that Austria maybe can't keep up with. We saw a couple of glimmers of Austria showing some beauty, but I'm just rifling around for a chocolate bar. I apologize if you can hear any background noise.
Nah, they'll be right.
Austria slowly walking themselves back to the line. Austrian coach has probably got a tricky conversation to have. Sometimes it's really difficult to know what to say in these moments when it's not going to plan. But ideally they're keeping them motivated, keeping them positive. It's really easy to let your head slip in games like this. But we've said all day that the hardest games are often the ones you learn the most from.
Yes. And that's it. As much as this is so painful now, you know, these young ladies are going to have a tough time watching this back if they let themselves do it. But it is some of the greatest lessons to be able to learn, to know that you were good enough and better, and to try and assess how that slipped away I just can't be understated. Like, you know, we come to win or to learn. How many times have you heard that? And when you don't win, sometimes it's a tough lesson, but at least we left it all out there. And sometimes it's a tough lesson and you didn't. And as we said, those ones can give some of the greatest learning lessons, and we hope for that much for the Austrians. Yeah,
Austria in now. But a D straight away by the 31 shirt, Nova Eriksson. Said her name quite a few times now. Shade power.
The iridium wraparound sunglasses.
Yeah. Used to be really unpopular in Frisbee and now seemingly the coolest thing to do. But a turnover. No sunglasses on those two players, and maybe that was making a difference there.
Get your wraparounds on.
Austria in. Low throw, but well held. Looking a bit stuck, 33 slashing across. Caught lovely, and a Huck, just too many beans on that. Again, I like the option. I don't think the Austrian player should be too frustrated there. Just the execution of the throw wasn't quite there. A little bit too zippy. Adjust the edge, put it into the air, and I think that was going to be a good one. But again, another opportunity for Sweden. Just 3 points away from the win with 27 minutes left, if my maths is correct.
Your math's doing better than you stated it might.
Thank you. I've been practicing my basic arithmetic. Nova Eriksson distributing and now moving it on, but a turnover.
Short field for Austria. They haven't seen too many of these. Let's see what they can do.
Wilma Vesman getting tangled up in the middle, and excellently handled by the 31 shirt of Pia Pan-Pi.
And the defense was draped all over her. In a time like this, I'm happy to see this, and the Austrians are really celebrating this goal. These small victories are huge in moments like this.
Yeah.
Maintain your, your eye level there. Keep that head up, and put a smile on your face. Doesn't mean you can enjoy parts of a lopsided loss as well, when you can get little victories like this amidst it all.
Well, if you take every point as it comes and it's always 0-0, every goal's a success, every goal's a win. Also, it's really easy for teams that are doing well to drop their heads because they have a level of confidence. If they suddenly feel like they have underperformed in that moment, you might be able to capitalize on that.
And I don't know how many times I've been in games where I've been ahead or seen others where you have this lead and the swagger and you take your foot off the gas and that momentum does get taken away, and then once you've given it away, seemingly you feel like, oh my God, I had this, and then it is a whitewash of energy the other way, and sometimes you feel like you can't do anything right. Meanwhile, you had all the momentum 10 points earlier, 5 points earlier.
Completely agree, but Sweden on offense, pushing it up to far sideline. Beautifully held, really capitalizing on these up the lines. That's a gorgeous drop there. Lisa Asselmeyer on the disc going up. And a beautiful goal. That was such a nice passage of play. I think the Swedish show is showcasing how important it is to put lovely touch on your discs. They were really leading every player into the right space and doing it with such assertiveness. That was a great showing.
Yeah, the two upline throws there, the outside-in shape on them, perfect. I mean, there's very little you can do to defend that. The Austrians did have a nice position on the unders there, and they're just exposed by perfection in those throws by the Swedes. Big up to the Swedish women here as well. They are playing a heck of a game, performing, throwing. They're putting the foot down in every aspect of this game.
Yeah.
Coach Haggerby out there, a legend herself, has done it at every level on the national stage and the club stage for SE6. They won an EUCF mixed back in Wrocław in 2018, and plenty more before that, but her daughter's on this team.
Aww.
She's been a big provider to the Swedish ultimate landscape, and you see a lot of what she's passed on with some of these players showing their throwing prowess, as she once and still to a different end does.
Yeah, Sweden with the pull. Austria to receive. Again, a miscommunication as who's to getting that disc up, but centered to the far sideline. Up the line. Schruger. Looking in field. Looking for an option. She finds it. She slashes. Open side. Received well. Up to Mobius. Looking round, too high potentially. And taken in by Peterson. Sweden looking a bit stuck here. Potentially might have to shoot something downfield. Does. Al Green with a disc. Vilma Westman. Down to Nova Eriksson. Not looking in field a little bit, but there we go. Is there going to be a slash? No, still hoping to get down that sideline. Astrid Bolin, just a turn, a little bit too far. I think that's what happens when you're pushing the disc down the sideline. Kind of only get so many chances, like a cat has only got 9 lives with getting it down there. Austria moving it to a lovely break side position, and again really capitalizing on that break side. All rushing over now, hoping to get some more space. Back into the middle. Sweden hungry for that D, but not quite coming up yet. Defense is close. Big hut going up now. Ooh, misread by Pettersson. Lisa on the disc, looking for an option, asking for a team to help. And just a turnover on the miscommunication and some frustration from Austria there.
Yeah, Sharuga knew that if that would have just continued in the air, she would have had a chance to run under it. That said, teammate had to go up. Wow, Sharuga answering the call there.
And a timeout called. Power timeout there. What a D. That's beautiful work. Full extension across the middle. Access denied.
Huge play. Daria Sharuga certainly got her head still in this game. She's here to play. The 16-year-old playing her club days with Mosquitoes is throwing the body on the line here and has got Austria a possession back because of that layout D.
Yeah. Just in a timeout here, so we're going to go to a super speed little break so I can have a bite of my chocolate bar, and we'll join you back shortly. We're back here at the Eurodisc Arena. Sweden 11-2 up on Austria. We just had a timeout with Austria on the disc after a phenomenal layout D, and we can look at the total passes. We've got quite a close number of total passes with Sweden on 73 and Austria on 67, which Steph and I are quite surprised at.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. I mean, to see a scoreline that different, but the total passes that close. I mean, I think my assessment is Sweden have had much shorter fields to work with. They've had to manage much less passes to cover much less meters. Austria's had to go a much further way and just haven't crossed the line. Yeah,
interesting to be so close, but more passes racking up now. Austria on the front of their end zone line looking for that goal, and there it is. And that's the bookends for Schröger after a fanatic layout D and an excellent collected score. Well worked.
Yeah, I actually don't mind a little spike there either. It's kind of, I'm just going to put this down. I'm not showing any happiness or excitement. I know we're down, but okay, we've got one. Come on, let's play team.
Yeah, like we keep saying, it's a game of recognizing what's against you and then making the best out of what you've got. For Schröger there, that's a great layout D. Those layout Ds are what you're going to learn in future and thinking, oh, I can layout D. And in more intense games where it's closer, you know that you can go out and get those blocks. And they can score. They've shown us 3 times that they can score. I think they've just had a slow start, and I think something is not clicking in that Austrian team, and there have been glimmers of excellence, but it's just not consistent across the board yet.
Yep. But a nice score there. Every little victory is worthy of celebration at this stage to some end. Not over celebration, but enough to put your head back up, get your posture feeling it, let your body language show some pride in what you're doing out there because of these small successes.
Big pull there from Austria, but bricked, unfortunately. Came with some real speed. Sweden on offense, just 2 points away from taking that victory. If they get this in, that brings them ever close to that 13 points where they will accelerate into the top 4. You see the 24 shirt of Lisa Ahrensmeiner walking towards the disc, and Austria doing a sort of hybrid approach, but finding Isabel Lillikvist on the side. Over to Lisa again. Oh, and just a simple clean drop there, unfortunately, by Emma Claassen. Austria looking downfield. Not a lot of movement coming out of the stack, but a big disc going up. And received. 11-4 Austria against Sweden in this women's pre-semi.
Second break of the day. Sharuga puts another one on the board. Stand and deliver kind of response there after the turnover. Pick it up. Okay, I'm gonna wait. Let's go. Cuts develop, and I'm gonna throw a deep one because they're allowed because I'm a great thrower, and now they're even more allowed because our offense can be a little bit more liberal at this stage of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the coaches do with Schruger. Played quite a few points in a row, and now do you rest them or do you leave them on the pitch? We've said this time and time again this weekend. Do you, when you're down, accept defeat, but not in a, oh, it's over, I don't want to try anymore? Do you rest your players, or do you go all out here?
It's a kitchen sink game to me. It's still like, you know, what, to rest for a placing game? No, I would never do that. I would this is still a dividing point in the bracket. The chance of getting in is so slim, but until that door is slammed, I'm playing to win still. I think that is the way I would play it. I think that's how I would call it a necessity.
Well, the coaches have taken Schruger off, so hoping that this line gets another break and then they can put her back on for a D line.
That perhaps that's the way too. Maybe she can't play every single point.
Pia Forstuk with the pull. Sweden centering to Emma Hagby. Over to Astrid Boden. An FM look by the looks of things from Austria, which I like that. I think that's going to make the Swedish players think. Lisa Arnsmeister on the disc, just on that previous point. Over to number 9, Freya McLean. Goal scorer. Wilma Vestman with the disc now. Moving it back. It's a lovely reset from Lisa Einsmeyer there. Disc going up. Wilma Vestman, and there's the goal.
Another beautiful throw. Arensmeyer has been fantastic with those deep outside-in forehands.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And throws another there. The forced middle was a good little change. You said FM, just to clarify, forced middle is what Derbs was talking about there. And it was a nice little wrinkle, just something different, make him think. In the end, this throw was just over top of the whole stack, over the whole center. And it was just a beautiful throw to the very back space of the entire stack, not much room left in the field. A brilliant throw used to beat it.
Yeah, you could see Nova Vestman kind of busting out of the handler space downfield, almost like a bit of a set play, something they're probably looking for because it was too perfect to be an accident. Sweden on the pull now, Austria on offense. We're 12-4 up. Sweden edging ever closer. If they get the break, that is the game over. So all to play for with Austria here, wanting to get that disc in. Feels like we're calling quite a few of the same names for Sweden, but they have got a slightly shorter roster, and I know just a few of their players are also injured. So playing through the same people, maybe not necessarily by want, but also necessity. But Austria in now. Schruger back on the pitch, those iconic white sleeves. She says, I can't hit you there, asking you to move, and stall out called. Bit of a discussion as to whether that happened.
Did it seem quick?
I think Schruger was doing a lot of looking downfield and asking people to move, and potentially was spending too long directing people without paying attention to what the stall was.
So you think no?
I
didn't seem too.
No, I'm not surprised. But I'm sure there is some statistical wizards out there that have done lots of research into how many seconds a stall count normally is, and I remember someone telling me that on average most people are saying 10 at 8.
Yeah, I heard 7 actually. But yes, it's. I would love to see like an actual digital clock on the screen, but also big clock on the field.
Well, in COVID they used to have Callum Spears created a COVID clock when we played, and it was a robot stalling 1, stalling 2, and it would do it for you. Creepy.
Out loud, like a
Out loud,
loudspeaker
so
on the
'cause-
sideline.
yeah.
I love it. I
So
love
he would
that.
just press there with a button.
I want that.
But we don't need it for Austria because here they are. The long arms of the cup there. Frida Scharlin forcing towards us. Schruger again looking frustrated. She puts it up into the sky, and the Austrian player takes it down, and that's a goal for Austria.
He's staying in it, extending the game. Schruger gets stalled out, gets the disc back, throws another bomb, and Austria extend this game. It's an effort that some might think futile at this stage, but this, again, what else to play for if not this one? There are games like taking the foot off the gas and you know, not playing to win always sucks. Sometimes it's still in pool play, you know, okay, if we lose this game, score differential of a couple extra, doesn't matter. Save our energy, win the next one, okay. You don't lose, but you just don't throw it all in. And again, this one is worth it. It's such a long shot. It's not a very high likelihood of return on that investment, but invest.
Schruger is giving me the similar vibe of the young Italian player in the female team.
Benzi.
Kind of like the bit of a hero for the team, a real kind of driver of the offense and the defense, the one that people want to rally behind. Been taken off this line, so this is Sweden's offensive hold to take the win, but a big Austrian defensive line here, so let's see what these 7 ladies can do. Ball going up, sitting nicely, going to be inbounds. Sweden letting the ball drop to the floor, but we're in. Single one-handed grab, bit risky at the moment, but well held. And Mahagby with the disc moving down to Lisa Arnsmeyer. Looking in the middle for the IO, but doesn't want it. And Mahagby with the disc again. Faking to go over. Love that look over the top. Arnsmeyer with the disc. Looking a bit static and a bit stuck, but over again. Eason picked up in the middle. Loopy throw and a turnover.
Yeah, that one, I thought the defense could have pursued a little bit harder, but put herself in just good enough position that the attacking receiver had to reach over, and that was enough to cause the turn.
Bit too far. Astrid Bowden says, no, I'll have that. And could that be game? Vilma Westman, that is game. Sweden have taken the win over Austria in this pre-semi, 13-5.
Yeah, fine form were the Swedes. They did everything they needed to do. They get their game-winning goal celebration there. They took all the energy in the early game and rode with it right till the end. Austria, much better form in the second half. Found a way to swing a little bit. Had they come out like that, they may have afforded their chance of win, but made it very, very difficult for themselves through error and by way of Sweden's prowess, their fine play at the start of this game. But in the end, it was all Sweden through from beginning to end here, and they earned a one-sided victory. As we take a look at the match stats, how about that bottom row there?
It's a tough one, yeah. Sweden with 22 break chances and then being able to convert 9 of them. You've got to give it to Austria, only 5 break chances and converting 2. It's not a bad stat.
20%.
They just weren't converting enough break opportunities and also getting the breaks. But again, Sweden only had 2 holds, but they weren't out on offense very much. But I think the real issue is Austria having 1 clean hold in the whole game. I think that was what really let them down, because it just gave too many break chances, and we can see 22 to Sweden.
And I said 20, I mean 40% is what I meant. But you're absolutely right.
You could say anything percentage-wise, and I
You were
would
just
say,
going to nod away and say, yep,
say 100%,
whatever you said.
I'd be like, yeah, okay. Math's not my thing.
Yeah, match stats are our thing, which we're talking about now. Thank you to Force Ultimate for providing and helping us to be able to generate these stats for you at home to enjoy and get deeper in-game analysis. you know, to enjoy the game more, to find out a bit more about these players and teams and what they're really doing out there. We love bringing you these stats, and thank Force for helping us out with that.
And thank you to all at home joining us. That's us wrapping up for this game. Sweden taking the win over Austria. I've been Amelia Devlin, this is Stefan Rapazzo, and we'll be back for another mixed game after this, the last game of the evening, so we'll see you soon.